Hey, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to install Active Directory, and we're going to do like virtual network, and we're going to connect clients to the domain as well. So let's get started. We're going to first create a resource group, and this is to hold all our virtual machines. So we'll call this tutorial demo or Active Directory demo. We're gonna have East US create. Alright, so it's good, and we're gonna go to a resource group. First, we're gonna need a virtual network. So let's create the virtual network. And this is so that both virtual machines can contact or be connected to each other. So we're gonna have the same resource group. We'll call it Active Directory Virtual Network. And let's create. First, let's see IP address. We'll create 1.201.16. We'll have 24.0.0. And we're gonna create the IP for, so this subnet default name default 10.201.0.0, and then let's see, IP address range 10.2 is not contained in the address space. Okay, we're gonna do this after. So let's just go back. .0.0, and let's leave it like this. Create. Perfect. So now we're gonna go to the resources, go to our name address, and we're gonna create our own address. So 10.201.0.0 by 24, and this is gonna be it, and we're gonna save. Perfect. So this is what we're gonna use for our virtual machine. We're gonna have a subnet. Let's create our subnet. So call it the virtual network default 00 net. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So we have our virtual network subnet, and we have our namespace. So let's create our virtual machine that we're gonna run our server 2022. So we have our resource group, which is Active Directory Demo. Let's name this DC1 for Domain Controller 1, East US, which is the same as our network. No infrastructure redundancy required because it's testing. And let's create our server 2022 2464 gen two, we're just gonna need two size, or if you want you can click here, add two. Okay, grab this and we go with the lowest budget and let's select. This is going to be our administrator login, so let's call this Giovanni domain, and then the password will password 0123 PASSWORD 0123, and then that's good. Let's go to disk. SSD is good. We're not gonna keep this long. We can go with standard. Okay, go to our network. This is where we're gonna use our virtual network. And virtual network and our public IP. We can delete, once we delete our virtual machine, we can delete everything. So perfect. And yeah, we can enable auto shutdown and we can put it to 10 p.m. use our normal 577 Canadian. So yeah, just in case you forget, we can save on cost, so it automatically shuts down. We don't need any of these, and then we can go to review and create. Perfect. So this might take a while, so let's create. And most of the time I'll speed these sections up when it's gonna take too long, so just to save on time. So we have our virtual machine here and it's currently deploying, so see you when it's finished. Okay, so the deployment was complete, so we're gonna go to our resources, and this is where we want to create a static IP address. So currently our IP address is 10.201.0.4, but this is automatic from the DHCP. So we're going to go to our network interface and we're going to go to network IP configuration, and let's click our IP config. Currently it's dynamic, we're going to make it static. And we're going to keep the same number, and let's save. Okay, so it should be okay. Now it's static. So let's see our DNS. Yeah, let's test before we start dealing with the DNS. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our virtual machine, go to resources. We can refresh just to make sure everything is up to date. Perfect, so we're gonna copy our IP, public IP address, and let's go on. Right now I use Microsoft Remote Desktop, and I can delete this one, and let's create our new virtual machine. So let's paste the IP address, ask when required, so it's going to ask for our login information. For this section, the main thing you want to click is yes. This makes certain that you can connect to other virtual machines that are on the same network. And since we're going to be on a virtual network, we can connect to any virtual machine that is on the same network. So we can close this, and it's still loading. Here we can set up a few things. So we can go to our roles and features. Server manager is collecting inventory data. Okay, so while this is collecting data, let's go to our firewall, and we're gonna allow IMCP echo request so that we can ping our virtual machine for our Windows. So let's go to inbound. It was disconnected. Let's run again. And okay, I just got kicked out, so let's open it again. Okay, perfect. And let's make this big. Let's make this larger. So we're gonna organize by the protocol, because we're gonna enable IP version 4. So let's enable, right, or double click enable rule, and enable rule. We're not going to do file sharing. Virtual machine monitor, we're not really going to do this. This is what we need for pinging and to be connected. So we have this up and running. In the meantime, we can also set up our roles and features. We can go to next. We have our virtual machine IP address. We go to next. Here we're going to create Active Directory services, domain services, add feature, next. I don't think this wizard will make you restart, so we're just going to install. Right now we're going to set up our basic, we're just going to install our Active Directory, and then once everything is installed, we're going to open up our Windows 10, and we're going to set up our Windows 10 client so that each virtual machine can connect to each other and ping each other, and then we can allow the client to join this virtual machine's domain. So that will be the next step. So its installation was feature installed successfully. Perfect. So we can close this. We don't need anymore. Then we can go to this flag in the top right. We're going to promote this server to a domain controller. We're going to create a new forest, and let's call it Vani domain.com. About the domain configuration. Let's see. Okay, so it's a .com. So let's close. So giovannidomain.com. Next. 2016, we're going to put our password. Okay, we're going to click next. Okay, we're going to click next, and our NetBIOS domain name is automatically generated. Okay, this looks good. Prerequisites check. Okay, so we're gonna install. You're about to be signed out. The computer is being restarted because Active Directory domain service was installed. So close, close. This is good, so we're gonna do a restart. So we've been disconnected from the virtual machine, so it's restarting. Now we can set up our client. So let's go to our virtual machine. We just want to make sure we're inside of our resource group, Active Directory domain demo, and we're gonna create a virtual machine. Create, and this is gonna be our client. So we have our resource group, and we call it Giovanni client. Same region, no infrastructure. We can click standard, and we'll use Windows 10 Pro. And we're gonna have 2 virtual CPUs. And let's call this Giovanni client 123 PASSWORD 3. And then make sure you click this button, I confirm, otherwise your virtual machine will not be created and a error message will show up as well. Okay, so we're gonna have standard, and let's go to our network, and this is very important. We're gonna need to change the subnet to the subnet that we created. The IP address will be a regular IP address. It could be dynamic. Most likely it will be dynamic. We're gonna delete after. Let's go to management. Identity Azure shutdown. We can shut down at 10 p.m. Let's see. 7 Canada and normal. So now we can create. Okay, so while this is deploying, let's go over to our resource. Let's go over to Active Directory demo. We're gonna go to our DC1 and let's go log in to our DC1 again. Okay, let's try one more time. Delete, open, add. Let's try connect. Perfect. So we're gonna have Giovanni domain, then PASSWORD 0123. So let's minimize. Okay. So right now we're gonna make sure that both virtual machines are able to connect to each other. So let's go to Active Directory and let's see if our virtual machine is deployed, and deploying in progress. Let's refresh. Deploying in progress. Okay. Alright, while this is continuing to deploy, let's create our admin account. So currently we have an inbuilt admin account. So we're going to create our own admin account, and that's what we're going to use for the rest of this video. So let's go to Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers. Let's double click or right click and create a new, and we're going to have organizational unit. So we're going to underscore admins, protect. Let's uncheck this, because if we might need to delete this, it might give us a hard time. So we have our admin. We also might need employees. So let's have employees. Perfect. So let's go refresh. Perfect. So let's go into our admin, and we're going to create new, and we're going to have a new user. So this is going to be me. So geo and read. And then let's have our user login name as geo admin, lowercase. So it's going to be geo admin, and let's click next. Password, let's click here. Password never expires. And then next, finish. So we have our first user, and we're going to make him a admin. So let's go to properties, member of. We're going to go to advanced, find, and let's find the domain admin. So domain admins, and then we're going to click OK. And so we're going to make him a domain admin. Perfect. Apply. So we just created our admin account, so we can log in as geo admin, and that's going to be your account login information. So let's go here and let's check on our client virtual machine. Perfect. So it should be up and running. So let's copy our IP address. So this is our domain. When you have multiple virtual machines, it can get like you don't really know which one is which. So let me open quick, add our client. So Giovanni, CLIENT, and then PASSWORD 0123. Let's show. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Continue. Okay, so we have our client and we have our server. Okay, so we're gonna click location. We don't really need any of those. Okay, so see, we get the same pop-up information, so we're gonna click yes. This tells Windows that the network you're on is a safe network, so you'll be able to see other people on the network. So let's go here and click type run, then type cmd. Do the same over here, run cmd. Then we're gonna have ipconfig/all. This is so that we see all the information. So we do it over here as well. config/all. Perfect. So we can see our IP version 4. We've got a 05 address. So let's ping our virtual machine. So the virtual machine for our server is that one. So ping 10.201.0.4, and let's see. Perfect. So we have connectivity. So let's also ping our domain. So let's go ping Giovanni domain AIN.com. Let's see if we have connectivity. Alright, so Giovanni domain. Let's see. Okay, nothing. So let's see here. So Giovanni domain. GiovanniDomain.com, and let's see if we're up and running. So let's go here, server manager. Alright, we can ping or sell our Giovanni domain. Let's try pinging one last time. So GIOVANNI. Ping request could not find host.com. Please check the name and try again. And let's see our 10.01.0.5. Okay, DHCP server DNS. The DNS 27.0. Okay, so let's go to our client virtual machine, network settings, and network. Let's go to our DNS as well, custom, and let's have 10.201.0.4 as our DNS, and then let's save. And now let's see, our network interface is saving. Perfect. So let's go. So we have this. We have our IP address. Perfect. It's on the same domain. I mean, it has the same network. So let's go back to our virtual resource group. And then we're going to restart our... First, let's try pinging. Let's see if it works. And then if not, we're going to Okay, so let's restart. So our client shut down. Okay. Refresh. Stop. Let's stop. Well, let's restart our virtual machine. Failed to restart the virtual machine. The operation requires the virtual machine to be running. Okay, so we can start. Okay, so let's copy and let's open up our client again. Okay. And then we're gonna have CMD. 10.201.0.4. We can ping our virtual machine, but can we ping the domain? So okay, so we can ping the domain as well, which is perfect. So what we're gonna do next is, so we have our both virtual machines, they're connected. Let's also connect this virtual machine to the domain. So let's go, there's two ways you can do this. We can go here and click system. Let's see, and rename advanced, or we can also go to run and type sysdm.cpl, and then we go to change, and then we go to domain, and we can add this computer to the domain. So let's go and type Giovanni, DOMAIN .com, Giovanni domain.com, Giovanni client. That's okay. Here is where you want to type the original or inbuilt admin account login information. So Giovanni domain password 0123. Perfect. So you should see this welcome message. So now we can go to our server manager, we can go to dashboard, and then we can go to tools, users, and the computers, and we should see our first user here. That's the user that just joined the domain. So now what we're going to do is let's have employees. So we're going to add this user as an employee, and let's continue. Okay, so we have our user. We can go to properties, we can see option member of, he's a member of the users, and okay, so this user is different than this user. So let's also, how we can allow, so the thing is, how can we allow users to log in with their credentials on our domain? So we're going to allow this domain, we're going to have to allow this domain to accept remote desktop into one of these client machines. So we're going to have to set that up. So let's do a restart. This, ask. And for this section, we're going to log in as our domain admin, we're going to log in as the admin we just created. So Giovanni, well, geo admin, and then password 0123. But we're going to have to add Giovanni domain.com / not this one, but /. So Giovanni domain.com / this, and let's see. Okay, perfect. So we're here. Okay, so we're on our client, but we're logged in as an admin. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to allow remote access into this machine. So let's go to we're going to go to system And then we're going to scroll all the way down to remote desktop. And then we're going to go to user accounts, select users that can remotely access this PC. And then we're going to choose add, advanced, find, and then we're going to have domain users, add, perfect. So, okay, so we can close. And now, let's see if we have, we're going to create like 2 users just to test our configuration. So right now we only have 1 computer. Let's create another employee. So let's go here, new users. Let's call him Kevin. So Kevin. And let's put Kevin at domain.com. Next, this password, PASSWORD 0123. Okay, next. So we have Kevin here, and let's also add another user. Let's call this one Adam. Perfect. So ADAM, and this is going to be another user, PASSWORD 0. Wait. No, yes, perfect, finish. So let's do a refresh. Okay, so we have 1 computer. This is employees. Let's add users. Wait, new client. So new organizational unit and underscore CLIENT. Okay. So this is where all our clients will be located. So Kevin and Adam. Wait, I got it. Employees. So yeah, Adam should be in employees, Kevin should be in employees, and our employee Giovanni should be as a client. So yeah, it's reversed. So let's refresh and let's open, refresh, and let's try logging in as one of those users we just created. So let's sign off on both, and we're gonna log in to both. So let's sign out, and here we're gonna sign out and log in. Wait, let's see. Domain. So yeah, we're gonna log in as our designated domain admin user. So let's sign out as well. Okay. So let's go to connections and let's grab our client. So we have our client, ask, and we're gonna go connected Giovanni domain / we can have, let's try Kevin, PASSWORD 0123. Continue. Perfect. So we have Kevin over here, and let's also log into our designated admin account. So Active Directory DC1, and let's copy our IP address. Okay, want you to ask. Okay, so as you can see, the other virtual machine went away. So let's go back. I have one here. So this is our domain, and let's see if I can log in with Kevin. Okay. Sorry about this glitch. It's this application. So we have Kevin, and I can show you CMD, and who am I? And I have Kevin here, CMD, who am I? And this is the Giovanni admin account. So we have both accounts created. And let's also create 1000 users. So we're not going to need this right now. So we can sign out of Kevin. We're going to create 1000 users. So let's go here and let's copy. So I'm gonna copy my repository, and let's go to Microsoft Edge. This is inside of the virtual machine. So start, continue. Let's copy my GitHub repository. So this is it, and I'm gonna download, create users, keep, and I'm gonna download the names as well, and let's download. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna create 1000 users. Let's create new folder, and this is just so I can access like the Explorer. And let's go to downloads, and we have 2 files, and currently I can open the files in Word. So let's open with Notepad. Okay, open. So this file basically is it's the PowerShell commands that will create the users automatically, or with automation. So the password for the users is going to be password 0111, the user's first name and last name list. So this is going to get the names from this. It's going to get the names from this file, which is just a bunch of names. I put my name there, and let's see, the passwords, it's going to be converted. So it's going to, right now the password is plain text. So it's just plain text. So it's going to transfer it's going to convert the password to a string. This section, it's for when we're creating our organizational group. So I'll show you. So tools, users and groups, organization, and when we create new organization, this is all that one line does. And the false means this is false. This means it's true. This is false. And yeah, so that's what that line does. This line, protect from, so that's false. For each is a loop. If you know JavaScript, this is kind of similar. So we have our first name. So this is a variable. So for each n in the user last name, this is like a placeholder. So n is a placeholder text. So Giovanni, it's gonna loop through each name, through the whole file. This name, Giovanni, will become it's gonna become Giovanni right here. And then after, it's going to become seed. And that's how it loops through each name, and it does that. So it's going to loop through each name and put them right here. And then it's going to save the name into first. So the end name dot split, it's going to split on a space. So the space right here, it's going to be split. This is going to be 1, 0, and this is going to be 1 because computers speak in binary. So 0 and 1. Let's make this smaller. Username will be our first name. Substring. So it's a substring is a type of like function, and the last name is gonna be to lowercase. Right host. This is just a way to decorate the terminal. So it's gonna be black cyan. It's gonna display all the usernames that's being created at that moment. User admin, this is just creating the user in the background. So the password is going to be the password. It's going to be the password, but hashed or converted, the given name, username, display name. So that's how it just goes through each line and creates each user inside of the user and computers. But it's gonna have a, let's see, it's gonna be called users inside of the user and computers. So the organizational group is gonna be called users. So let's also copy. So first we're gonna open PowerShell. So here, and we're gonna right click and run as administrator. Perfect. So I also have once we're here, we're gonna want to enable the execution of this script. So we're gonna do set execution policy, and then we're gonna have unrestricted. Let's click, and then it's gonna ask for this. We're gonna have yes to all, so that's perfect. So we cannot run this script from this path. We cannot run from this path. We need to run from, ideally we would have to run from our downloads. But let's drag all these files to our desktop. Let's cd backslash. Okay, so now we can run our files. So let's go back into our notepad and let's copy all of this, paste, and let's enter. It cannot find this path, test.names. Oh, it's in the C drive. Okay, so let's go back into here, this PC, C drive, and let's copy here. Continue, and then let's continue, and there it goes. So we just created 1,000 users, and this is like a mini organization, and we can check by going to our tools, users and computers, hit the drop down and see our users folder, you can say, is here. So let's do a refresh. Let's open, and we can see all the users we just created. So let's go to find, and let's find now, and you can see we've created 1,000 users. So you can also check your name. So the way how the code is set up, or the PowerShell script is set up, it's using the first letter of your first name and then the rest of your name, all lowercase. So we can find, and that's me right here. And we can do check the properties, address. Okay, so Giovanni domain / gread. So let's see. So we have C. Let's just pick a random person and we're gonna log in as that person just to confirm that these users were created successfully. So let's just let's just use C kosher. Okay, so we're gonna use C kosher. So here, and we'll go to our client machine. Let's go here to 23.101. Okay, so let's go up here, quick connect 23.101. We're gonna ask, okay, and let's type fannydomain.com /CKOCHER, then PASSWORD 0123, and let's try connecting. Perfect. Okay, so our user, or as you might call it, an employee, is logging in, and this employee is called K-Kosher. So we can come off and we can do CMD, who am I, and this is C kosher. So we can do this as we can log in as any one of these persons. So the next video I'm going to show you how to unlock a user account once they are locked out, because this is something you do a lot, and unlocking a user account and also doing the group policy so that we can like set other restrictions. So we're gonna do that in the next video. So yeah, so thanks for watching this video. There were some hiccups along the line of installing, and because it's a long process, but yeah, see you in the next one where we're gonna do a password reset and do some group policy, and yeah, see you soon.